Hello, and Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Intel Brief for 2025, your go-to daily update on global geopolitics. Today is Thursday, 2 January. I'm Daniel, the founder of HM Intelligence, and every weekday we cut through the noise to deliver not just the headlines, but the why it matters. So let's get into it. In today's update, we'll be covering a large explosion outside Trump's hotel in Las Vegas, terrorism investigations after a deadly truck attack in New Orleans, and the EU has denied Hungary €1 billion after reform failures. So firstly, a Tesla Cybertruck explosion outside the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas on Wednesday resulted in 1 fatality, the driver, and 7 minor injuries, prompting the evacuation of the hotel. Las Vegas Sheriff Kevin McMahill described the incident as a large explosion after the vehicle pulled up to the hotel's entrance. While the cause is still under investigation, the FBI is examining potential terrorism links. Elon Musk stated on X that the explosion was unrelated to the Cybertruck itself, suggesting that it was caused by fireworks or an explosive in the truck's bed. The White House confirmed President Joe Biden was briefed and has offered federal assistance in response. News reports indicate that authorities were not ruling out terrorism as the cause, underscoring heightened security concerns. This incident has drawn significant attention, both due to its involvement of a Tesla's highly publicized Cybertruck and its occurrence near property associated with President-elect Donald Trump. So what? It seems unlikely that this attack, due to its style and target profile, is linked to the New Orleans event or international terrorism. It is more likely that this was an issue-motivated attack designed to bring negative attention to both Elon Musk and Donald Trump, rather than cause mass casualties. What I'm more interested in is to see the makeup of the explosive, and if it was just bulk fireworks in the truck bed, which would possibly make it look more like an accident designed to bring negative attention to the Cybertruck, or was it an actual homemade explosive, which would indicate that he wanted to injure or kill people at the Trump hotel. And next, the New Orleans attack on January 1st has resulted in the death of 15 people and multiple other injuries after a vehicle rammed into a large crowd on Bourbon Street, a prominent tourist area in the French Quarter of New Orleans. The suspect was a 42-year-old US Army veteran, was killed in a shootout with police after attempting to escape and wounding 2 officers in a gunfight. The FBI has classified the attack as terrorism, citing evidence such as an Islamic State flag found connected to the vehicle and potential IEDs in the vehicle. President Joe Biden condemned the attack and offered federal support, and noted the suspect's extremist motivations. Authorities have recently ruled out any accomplices in the US, and the FBI believes the suspect acted alone. The incident has drawn international attention, with leaders such as French President Emmanuel Macron expressing solidarity with New Orleans. Governor Jeff Landry and local authorities have urged people to stay away from the area while the investigation continues. This attack follows a disturbing trend of vehicles being used as weapons, reminiscent of similar attack in Germany in December. Meanwhile, President-elect Donald Trump controversially connected the event to illegal immigration, despite the suspect being a US citizen. So what? This event, much like the last, comes at a critical time for the US, as tensions are high in the build-up to Trump's inauguration. Despite what Trump has said, it seems highly unlikely that this attack is linked to illegal immigration directly. However, it is likely that the individual was indoctrinated by external forces, possibly online or possibly by a person in the US with connections to the Islamic State. One point of interest that will be good to explore will be how he acquired the stolen weapons, whether he got the weapons himself or if someone provided them to him. And lastly, the European Commission has announced that Hungary will lose €1 billion in European aid due to persistent rule of law breaches. This decision stems from Hungary's failure to address EU concerns over corruption, conflict of interest, and transparency in public procurement. The EU began conditionally proceedings against Hungary in 2022, which allowed for the freezing of funds until adequate reforms were implemented. Although Hungary agreed to some changes that led to a partial unblocking of funds, the European Commission found that key reforms to meet EU's democratic standards, particularly regarding corruption and media independence, were insufficient. The withheld €1 billion represents a tranche of funds that would have expired by the end of 2024 without proper resolution. Prime Minister Viktor Orban, who has been in power since 2010, has consolidated his influence, with some of his allies amassing significant wealth, including a former school friend. His government's actions have repeatedly clashed with EU values, leading Hungary to be sanctioned under a 2018 procedure for serious rule of law violations. Despite Orban's pledge to fight for the funds, the EU's July report reaffirmed concerns about Hungary's governance, particularly regarding political financing, conflicts of interest, and press freedoms. Orban's close ties with Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin further underline the complex dynamics between Hungary and the EU. The decision to revoke the funds is part of a broader effort to uphold EU standards and safeguard its financial interests. So what? This is a big blow to Orban's leadership, as he had promised Hungarians that the EU would eventually give them the funding. However, it is highly likely that Hungarian language media, which is almost entirely owned by Orban's supporters and accomplices, will publish articles that blame the EU and deflect blame away from Fidesz and Orban himself. Sadly, it is the Hungarian people who lose out here, as those funds could have been used to update critical infrastructure, such as hospitals, which are in dire need of improvement. Thank you for tuning in to the Intel Brief, your daily update on global geopolitics, brought to you by HM Intelligence. Support the show by sharing it with friends and leaving us a 5-star review. And if you're curious and want to learn more about intelligence, check out our affordable, self-paced online courses through the link in the description. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you next time.